When do you think payments via the Lightning Network are common in the world?
Yeah, so we're actually starting to do remittances now in the Philippines. We did almost $100,000, around $100,000 worth of Bitcoin converted to Philippine pesos for people to get in the local economy. So it's starting already, pretty small scale. The next stage, like again, the user experience, we need to improve it. I would say within the next 6 months, we'll see hopefully some pretty big announcements, exciting developments in user experience, partnerships, integrations that should take the user experience to the next level.
I'm pretty bullish. I think a couple of years, maybe 2-3 years. I see an explosion coming, particularly from the continent of Africa. All it takes is the development of simple apps.
10 years from now.
Good question. I think in Salvador is getting common. Then later, I hope another country in Latam, and eventually in the whole world. Maybe 10, 20 years.
I think obviously El Salvador is doing an amazing job at pushing that forward. I think we are not going to see it super common for the next 5 to 10 years. Probably more on the 10-year range. We are very impatient in this community, rightfully so, but it is a new technology. There's a lot of change management that needs to happen, and a lot of people have concerns about the broader industry, rightfully so. So I think it's just going to take a little bit of time, but we'll get there eventually.
I'm checking my crystal ball. Boy, I don't know. I think that's dependent upon the first question, but I would say, man, the speed with which stuff has happened here in El Salvador in just 1 year, I think easily within the next decade, maybe the next 5 years. Yeah.
When the merchants are accepting Bitcoin and they don't even know it. Okay, solutions like Pay with Moon, the debit cards that you can load, where you load up with Bitcoin and then you go around and you're spending dollars. Those people are spending Bitcoin and the merchants have no idea. The merchants are accepting dollars, but ultimately it's being funded by Bitcoin, right? So I think that that's the first step into that foray, and I think that eventually, once the payment processors, right, the NCRs and these type of Square and these type of large payment processors turn on Bitcoin payments, it's going to be easier. But ultimately, the debit card solution that you load with Bitcoin is the best way to spend Bitcoin, and the merchant has no idea.
Among our community, they are already common, and that's not so far away. I think we are getting there. Just takes a bit of groundwork, getting out there, more education. But I think we will see quite some adoption within the next years.
That is a really, really hard question. I don't think anyone can sincerely answer that, knowing exactly when it will be. But I think this is the type of thing that will grow slowly and then suddenly, in which it's about being. I think we spent a lot of time the last 5 years building the Lightning infrastructure. Then we got a lot of platforms. We got a lot of the infrastructure companies like Voltage and BTC Pay Server providing that infrastructure on top of Lightning. And now what we're starting to see is application layer companies emerging that are providing these end user use cases, end user value, and like Geyser, Starbacker, Fountain, all building on top of Lightning and providing these end use cases that will, I think, attract people to come to Bitcoin.